Okay. Whew. Man, I was doing stuff, taking care of my chore stuff, right? And I'm thinking about salt in the ocean, and I'm listening to my husband, who's uh, who's been home for like half a day today, watch all of his little YouTube videos on reactions to Ryan Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch, really cool, very good music. But I was thinking about the parasites or the microbiome, the parasites and the microbes, like the monsters inside of you, and why jelly juice is so integral in balancing the microbiome, and why people were seeing so many parasites come out of their body when they first were doing jelly juice. And we were posting pictures of the parasites, and people were just like so gleeful to see long parasites come out. They're like, oh my God, this is like overrunning my body. I'm like, yeah, those are the monsters inside of you that were overabundant, but you don't want to kill them or have the intention to kill them. You just want to balance out. You want to keep them at bay. And so, and that's the jelly juice. That's the action potential with the salt, with the microbes, the lactobacillus, um, in the fermentation. And then you have the nutrients in the food supply to then recode your DNA to where then everything coalesces based upon the programming of your body. So then I'm like, continuous process improvement. Okay, so the gods, so I'm looking up when the dinosaurs came about. And dinosaurs are like, what is it, 3 million years ago? The ocean was created 3.9 billion years ago. The rise of the mammals were around the same time that the end of the dinosaurs. And the changes in the oxygen levels were about 500,000 years ago because of the floods and also the asteroids. And so I think those asteroids held the viral data that you get right now in your environment because of a new virus released that is causing people to get therapeutics and vaccines to help them integrate to the new atmosphere. And so the asteroids held the data to reprogram the diversity, the biodiversity on the planet. And so the giants of the past were the dinosaurs, and also the giant trees and the giant insects and the giant reptiles and all that stuff. Oh, hey, sugar. Hold on. And there were giant mammals too, like the woolly mammoth and stuff. But the new data in the viruses then caused then a different programming of which then not all the dinosaurs could handle, right? Because also the new data in the atmosphere. And then also too, it caused then biodiversity to be more diminutive, to then lessen in size. But there were still like the Nephilim. Now the Nephilim, I'm looking up how many years ago the Nephilim, and there really isn't a specific number of how many Nephilim were here, the giants, but I think that came around when the civilization came around, which was like 6,000, 7,000, something like that years ago. And so what I'm trying to get to, the point I'm trying to get to is that the ocean is a balancing force with the new programming in the environment. The ocean is a balancing force to keep the giant parasites and the giant microbes and the giant parasites and viral data and protozoa and proteins and fungus and bacteria at bay, so it doesn't become overabundant. So not only does the sun keep the fungus and all the different things at bay, but also the salt, which is in the ocean. And that's why the ocean is so huge. Sugar, what are you doing? Okay. So anyways, oh my God, I gotta put my thing in the dryer. It's still too wet. Sugar, okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna say this. But I think definitely the ocean and the new viral data that were in the asteroids reprogrammed the planet. It was like a major upload of data when 66 million years ago. And then that led to then the rise of man, okay, of which the gods, yes, created man. And then intelligent man was when the gods infused their divine potential, the higher intelligent beings. And so and this is where you have to understand that Greek mythology is Greek reality. Viruses are data. Viruses are just evolution. We have been getting uploads of data from the universe ever since the beginning of time. And it does reprogram the atmosphere, of which then reprograms all of biodiversity. So if you understand that viruses are data and not something to fear, not something to go and destroy, then now you have to then get your device, which is your body, compatible to the atmosphere. No different than having your device of a phone compatible to the internet, which is basically the landscape. Okay, the internet is like the landscape, and the devices are like humans that need to be compatible with the landscape, the microbiome. Okay, and so that's why jelly juice is so important, because it does keep all of your critters inside at bay. It doesn't have anything overabundant. You won't have candida, and you won't have the parasitic infections. You won't have any infection when you are keeping the biochemistry and all the different life forms in your body under control with the proper chemistry. And that is the salinity. That's high salinity. That's what the oceans keep Earth from creating too much of fungus and too much of the algae and the bacteria. The ocean is that balancing force. And so if we look at the macro and then make the connections to the micro, which is the human, if you want to look at it from that point of view, then you understand where Jilly Juice comes in. And then it's always a continuous process of improvement. For every new viral upload, new data viral upload, the body has to evolve to the level of the environment, which means that it needs more of the salt, it needs more nutrition, it needs more of the carbohydrates, the fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. And then you have to feel pain, the electricity. Okay? And so, holy crap. Yeah. That's it. But I wanted to verbalize that because I know that the asteroids were very integral in changing the programming in biodiversity at the time the dinosaurs died out, and then the rise of the mammalians. And then mankind was also somewhere in that mix between because the thing I heard mankind was around when the dinosaurs were around. Okay? And then, yeah, the woolly mammoths and all that. And then when they stopped being hunter-gatherers and they turned into civilized human beings was when the gods, the Nephilim, and that's when the book of Enoch, which is missing in all the books of the Bible, is the missing link. So you want to know the missing link in the Bible is the book of Enoch, the missing link of mankind from Neanderthal and all that, all the way up to Homo sapien. The Nephilim were the missing link. They gave us the divine potential, the intelligence to be logical, reasoning humans. And then we're seeing the span of all the gods on this earth with different people who represent each of the gods' divine potential in its most condensed form. And so a balanced human being can have a bit of Neanderthal in them, a bit of aggression, a bit of love and respect and intellect and calmness to warlike. I mean, you can, and it gets called upon when it's needed. It's not something that's always on the surface, as if it was a face of you and this is who you are. Because you know there are people out there that are very aggressive. And they're always just like jittery and always just so like type A. But what would happen if a type A person could be both a type A, type B person? That they know how to turn off that aggressive personality when it's appropriate. And so that's the balance of the biochemistry, that's the balance of the gods, and that has to do with the chemistry that is keeping all the critters and all the proteins, balanced and working the way it's supposed to. That's it. Okay, bye.